everyone, thank you for joining me today. My name is Lily and this is my little channel Lily and the Bee, where I like to share with you all the things I've made. How are you all today? Hope you're well. I'm enjoying the sun today. It's really bright and sunny and shiny, bright and sunny, and it's been so rainy here lately. We've had loads and loads and loads of rain, so just really appreciating it. I went to the shop earlier and I took a little video because the sun was out and all the birds were singing, so hopefully you can hear that in the little clip that I took. There's also some of our beach walk. I went for the walk up for a beach on my birthday, and I wanted to beachcomb, as you can see by the video. I wanted to go to beachcomb, and there's a part of the beach where you can walk up on the cliff. So Neil said for a change of scenery he's going to walk on the cliff. Do I want to go with him or stay walking along the beach? And I said I want to beachcomb, so I said I'll walk along the beach. So then I saw him at the top of the cliff and he was going like this. I'm like, oh, some deer's up there, that's cool. I sort of went for that because he was miles away from me. Yeah, that's cool. And then when he came back, he said it was a Highland cow. I was like, Highland cow's up there again. Because once, ages and ages ago, I was at work at home and he went for a walk. And he went to the same walk. And he saw a Highland cow then, but a close-up. He sent me a photo of a close-up of a Highland cow's face. And I'm like, how has he seen that in Suffolk? Near the beach. And I thought he sent it as a joke. I thought he just got the image off the internet, but he had actually seen one. So I always joke and say, oh, the Highland cows don't want to see me, so they always appear when I'm not around. So they weren't as close. You can see by they were quite far in the distance, so I did miss out on those, but I did find some nice beachcombing finds, which I'll show you a couple. Actually, I should quickly show you them now. My two favourites while I'm talking about beachy things. You know how much I love sea pottery, so I found a piece of plate, pretty plate, which was washed up. That was like that on the sand, so I flipped that over and I was like, yay, it's got a pattern on. And another little piece, which has, this is older I think, but that has little tiny trees on and a line on the other side. So I presume that would have been maybe a plate as well. I think that was it for the sea, but we found a nice stone with a hole in, which you have to pick up, don't you? And I'm going to show you a really big piece of sea glass, and it's a nice colour as well, finally, which is that. You can see how thick it is, and it has bubbles in. So, and that's quite a nice bluey colour. Not as blue. This is the brightest piece I've ever found, which is this one, which I made into a necklace. I haven't ever found a piece like this proper gorgeous blue colour. So they're a bit sandy, I've got to wash them. So that's my little beachcombing part. And I have also got, oh my goodness, don't forget Shane the donkey. Here he is. Remember last time he didn't have a personality or a name or an outfit. Now he's got all three. So he's called Shane. Neil thought of the name Shane, and as soon as he said Shane, I'm like, yes, he looks like a Shane. And I made him a little backpack. Let's put that on. The pattern for the donkey and the clothes are all cool crafting. And I made the backpack up. It's just a crochet, just a rectangle, folded it over, stitched up the sides, and then stitched long, just a single crochet around the edge for the straps, and then threaded a little bit of macrame cord through with beads on there just to fasten up so it opens. I made him from the cool crafting book. I made him. I can never remember which book it was in. I think it was in book 2, the shirt, which I've never ever made a shirt in my life before. It was really hard to do, but actually turned out really nice. I think the collar's not perfect. It was supposed to be a granddad style collar, which is short rather than a pointy collar like this. So I made it, when I cut out the pattern, I did make it a bit bigger, so it kind of stands up, but it's not as, I wanted it bigger than a granddaddy collar, which it is. And I put buttons on. I didn't put buttonholes. And I made him a sea glass necklace to match mine. Which I thought was brilliant. And I actually like the shirt open. He has some beach shorts, which have got little skulls on, which I bought that ages ago. And I didn't really know what to do with it, so I thought that's perfect for his beach shorts. He has a, hope he doesn't mind me showing you his bottom. He has a little hole in the back for his tail to come through. And I love him. I think he's really come into his own with his personality. I nearly got a bit weirdly carried away and thought, he could do with a hairy chest. I could stitch that on. And I thought, no, remember, he's not a man, he's a donkey. So I stopped myself just in time. before doing that. But yeah, I think he's absolutely great. And as also, if you listen to the video at the beginning, we took him for a little bit of a photo shoot on the beach, and he applied for a job as a lifeguard. So we're still waiting, fingers crossed, still waiting to hear how he got on with that. But he's quietly confident that he got on okay. In the photo, it was really windy, so it was quite hard to film him. But his mane was kind of swept with the wind, so he looked cool. So I say it every time about my favourite makes, but I think he really is one of my favourite makes. I really, really like him. I might make another donkey actually. I've got the next one I'm planning to make from Cool Crafting is the sheep, because I said ages ago I bought the felt to make the sheep, and I've also got some wool, sort of fabric wool to make, because I'm going to use that instead of the bits they've got on top. They've got the cut bits of felt on top, so you can see can you see those bits? I'm going to try and use the fabric I've got for that instead of the felt, but I don't know how that will go, and that's next. It's not next on my list, it's on my list, and my list is very long. I have been doing a little bit of my slow stitching as well, which is up here, and I've got I put my little crochet, I've forgotten the word, mushroom on there. So I did another page of this. I'm not thinking, oh, it's definitely going to be every month, but I did one in January. That was my January one. And as you remember, if you've seen me before, I just made a little book just with some white calico fabric, just stitched it together. Nothing neat, nothing perfect, because this is about the process rather than making it look amazing. So this is the one I did. It's got, because I'm not really finishing off the edges or anything like that, that's not what it's about. It's very hairy because it's got bits everywhere. But this is this month, and it doesn't look like a happy. So I've got stitching, I've got flowers, I've got a heart, I've got a little flower on the side, I've got some beachy fabric, and I did the sky, and I made a little circle there into the sun, and I did a couple of clouds, little birds down there. So oops, because this has been a nice month so far. I've got my new job, yeah, so it's been good. So that's a very, very happy month. This month wasn't unhappy. It was still a good month, but I just felt extra happy when I was making this. I think so. This one I haven't quite worked out how I'm going. I think I'm going to stitch that on the other side of the page there. And I've got lots of little scraps, so it's good because sometimes when I'm just looking for fabric to make things, I can just think, I've got a little spare piece, I'll put it in here, and then I know I can use something as this, which I've made project bags with in the past. It's got so many little beachy pictures on, and I'm always at the beach, so I think I'll be cutting lots of little bits and pieces off that. And also this, which has got all sort of kind of sewing related bits on. And this is going to be the cover, but I haven't made the cover yet. I'm going to stitch on there. So yeah, I just pick that up and do it when I feel like it. I spent about half an hour doing it, and joyful, I would say. It makes me feel joyful. It's a nice thing to do. So I won't show you that all the time. It's just an ongoing thing, and it's not really what it looks like. It's just thinking about the sewing and enjoying the sewing step by step as you're doing it, rather than the end project. What else have I got? I've got some wool over here, which I found when I was, if anybody could give me some ideas, because I don't make socks, but I did buy this beautiful, this is So Happy Creative, who I follow on Instagram, and I love the colours that she uses. So I forgot I'd bought this, to be honest. So yeah, I bought that ages ago. Really gorgeous, really pretty colours. They remind me a little bit of spring Easter eggs. I don't think it was to do with Easter eggs, but they do look like those little coloured eggs you can get. I can't remember what they're called. Cadbury's eggs. But yeah, gorgeous, gorgeous colours. So if anyone's got any idea of anything I can make that isn't socks, because I don't knit, and obviously it's not enough to make a blanket or anything, and I have been using some of the others, like this was hand dyed. I just used a little bit for that, but I kind of think I've got quite a lot of that, so yeah, I don't know, any ideas, let me know. That would be fantastic. Also, I would like, every week I think, oh, I must remember to ask the viewers, people who watch me, what you make and the things. I'd really like to be interested to know whether you knit or crochet or sew, or what you kind of like to do, or what your craft is, or what you're making. So if you don't mind, I would love it if you could leave us a little comment to say what you're making, or your type of crafting that you like to do. But you don't have to. I don't want to pressurise people into commenting. I never used to, before I had my own YouTube channel, I never used to comment at all. Very occasionally. I think I left a couple on maybe Claire Who Makes Things, because I've been following her for the longest, and I follow her on Instagram as well. But I maybe a couple on hers, but I'd watch and I'd always like them, but I didn't feel confident enough to even leave a comment. So that's how much my confidence has grown, because before I was too scared to leave a comment. I don't know what I was scared of really, but I just felt a bit, I don't know. But yeah, I never used to really comment. But now, as a person who has my own channel, it's just so nice to get all the comments, and I would be interested to know what kind of crafts that you do and that you're into yourself, I guess. And also, when you are watching YouTube people yourself, because I was doing this the other day, and when the person comes on and they say hello, I say hello, Lily here, whatever I say, and then do you say hello back? Because I don't talk to the person all the way through the podcast, but if they say hello, I always say hello and I say goodbye at the end. So that might just be a me thing, though. I don't know if anyone else would do that, but because you feel like you're really talking to the person, don't you? Or they're really there with you. So yeah, I hope I'm not sounding really weird now. Anyway, moving on away from my weirdness, I will show you my lovely blanket. I've called this my happy blanket because I absolutely love all the colours. It's just so bright, and just look, it feels, because I've used the Style Craft chunky wool, I just love it. It just feels so warm and cosy and thick, and it's just beautiful. So I do a few nights a week, whoops, dropped it on the floor. A few nights a week I do a few rows of it. Normally when Neil's watching something on television not that interested in, but I'm, to be polite, oh yeah, this is interesting, but I'm not really. I'm sort of half, I find it quite hard to concentrate on television programmes unless I really love it. Like if I'm really into it, that's fine, but if I'm just a bit, it's okay. I can't really just sit there and not do anything. But I'm sure if you crochet also, I'm sure you're probably the same, and you do it while you're watching television a lot of the time. Yeah, so there it is. It's very long. This is the width. So I made it long because I want it to be massive, so I can really cuddle up in it, and it will go big that way as well, obviously. And yeah, Starcraft Special, gorgeous bright yarns. I just love it. I can't stop looking at it and thinking how happy it makes me, which is why I'm calling it the happy blanket. It's funny how colours can make you feel really happy sometimes, can't they? I need to do better thumbnails, so should I? Oh, I'll show you my little, because I drill holes in the sea glass that I find sometimes. I make little stitch markers out of them, so there's a little one. Can't get it right. There's one I've made, just a piece of clear sea glass. And put that behind me, and I've dropped this on the floor. So it's kind of slow, well, not really slow progress, but it's a long ongoing project. Obviously not something I can make in a week, but it is getting bigger. And do I need to show you anything else? Oh, I bought this pattern. I haven't made any of my clothes. I've bought the pattern, I've bought fabric for a top I'm going to make, and then I also found this in the charity shop for £2, and when this pattern came out I loved it. Didn't really make clothes then, but because I'm planning to now, I thought, well, that'll be a good practice one to make for me. Hopefully, I'm not sure if I'll put the pockets on or not, but I like the style of it, and it looks, to me, it looks like it's quite straightforward to make. So I've got wool on me now. It looks straightforward to make, so hopefully it will be. But yeah, I really need to get the top done. I think I've got that basket to make, and I've got a top to make, so I kind of think I need to be working on more of my bigger projects. The trouble is I think I'm a bit addicted to making animals, so I can't stop making them. And I'll quickly show you this because I've been working on, what won't open? It was stuck. Right, so I've been working on this. That's got a stitch marker on as well that I made. Little one there. This is going to be a jumper with no sleeves, so like a vest, tank toppy kind of thing. I'm just going to knit two, no I'm not going to knit, I'm going to crochet 2 rectangles and see how it works out, making it up as I go along, really kind of. I did watch one YouTube tutorial but I'm not sure which one it was now, and I was only kind of copying it a little bit, so I think I'll just keep going with that and just make it up as I go along. I'm using Pebble Haze DK Yarn Smiths for that, which is gorgeous. So I've got quite a few crochet projects on the go. I haven't got any crochet, I haven't got any crochet animals on the go because I made the chicken, which wasn't very good because I used the horrible wool, the cheap wool, which wasn't very nice to use. But yeah, I'm sure I will again at some point, but I haven't lately made any amigurumi animals or anything. But as you can see, I've gone mad with the sewing ones instead. I like to make all different sorts of things, so I'm sure I will be making some in the future. I think I've gone through everything I wanted to. I may have forgotten. I don't feel like I've made lots, but I have got lots to show you somehow. I suppose it's because they're not finished, isn't it? They're all kind of they're all whips. Right, I think that's everything for today. Thank you so much for watching and subscribing, because I think I've had lots of new subscribers on my last video, which is amazing. Thank you. So yeah, I hope you've enjoyed it and it hasn't been too waffly and disorganised. And I will see you in a week's time. Take care, everyone. Bye.